Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the S-Team podcast. I'm Jack Millington, and joining me this week, as usual, as ever, it's Mikey, not 3 times Lucky Keating.
Yes.
Too bad. I mean, you know, apart from you being late, you know.
That's not my fault.
It kind of
That is not my fault.
It is. And before you go, oh, well, the excuse, oh, well, the clocks went forward by an hour. Even if they hadn't done, you'd have still been half an hour late. You know what I mean? It's like...
To be fair, lately I have turned up...
The last 2 weeks, that's why I said 3 times not lucky. Because clearly luck's not my... Mike goes... That's how Mike saying. You awake? 20 minutes later. Oh, sorry lad, just woke up.
I didn't say I was sorry lad. It's all sorry, just woke up.
I know in real time, if you'd have come up and met me and gone, sorry lad. No, for a fact. We've got a lot to talk about this week. Mikey's even got a story to contribute this week as well, people. We've got a piece of news, obviously, that we can't avoid, so we've got to talk about that. My Kindle is taking the piss. But we've got that, bit of weird American news, some other weird news, gaming news. Got a review as well today. Got a review of a game. Got an interesting story about PS4 versus Xbox, which people might want to hear.
And the outcry on Top Gear as well. It's another one we can sort of talk about.
I wasn't actually going to talk about it, to be honest with you, because we've talked about it at such length for the last 2 weeks. We all kind of knew where this was going, and now it's been officially confirmed that
Top Gear.
Yeah, but
No, but they...
you know what can you say about Top Gear? It's done.
But I've heard the latest for what might happen, so shut the fuck up and...
What do you mean?
No, you'll find out.
No, come on then. We might as well talk about it first then.
Oh, okay.
What's this latest bit of incel Mike's got from his supplier, otherwise known as Matty Morris, with a sort of beanie hat?
No, it wasn't Matty Morris, funny enough.
Who's Lewis?
Really? Are you actually going to suggest I got it from off Mark?
Yeah.
No. Basically, Jeremy Clarkson's in talks with Netflix.
Oh yeah, I've heard about all the offers and all that. He's got an offer from Russia to go and do a show over there. He's got so many offers for things to do, and it's just like...
Only if it was the same for me.
No. I want to go to Russia tonight on Rushkovskin. We drive Lada. Lada is good car. We drive Ferrari, not good car. And I've just suddenly alarmed myself to the fact that my Russian accent decided to go and merge with a Japanese one. But yeah, Top Gear's over.
About that one though.
No. Top Gear's
over. Dismantle the set on Friday.
Wow, dismantle. Oh, I thought you meant to wear dismantle the set. Oh, done. Yeah, well, you know. What can you say about it that hasn't already been said? It's over. Job done. I'm going to be the new host next year. You're going to see me. This week on the Ford Focus Gear. We drive a Ford Focus. Well, to be fair, if it was you, you'd be just driving Nissan GTRs everywhere, so you can't say nothing. Oh, I've got a GTR. This week we've got another GTR. It's blue coloured. What's the difference? It's got a red stripe on it. What else? Oh, is it some technical No, it's got a blue stripe on it this time, mate.
The engine cover is actually newer than the one I drove last week.
How old is it? Oh, it's a day younger.
It's got 2 less miles on the clock. Yeah.
Why is it? Because it took the overpass that I told it to over the A44, not the A43. No idea where those roads are.
No, do I?
No idea where those roads are.
But
are we gonna keep talking about Top Gear, or do we have to?
We'll move on.
Or do we have to talk about the news that we inevitably
unfortunately have
to talk about, which I think you already know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
German Wings. I'm not going to be singing it as happily as I just did then, but as everyone knows, it's been in the news probably all around the world more than anything else. Andreas Lubitz, I think I've pronounced his name right, is the co-pilot that is thought to have deliberately crashed his Airbus plane in the French Alps, killing 150 people. And the story that I've got here is from his ex-girlfriend. Apparently he said to her one day that one day everyone will know my name. Yeah. And in the hopes of all this, one day we'll remember your name and then the rest of it we'll forget it. because you're a knob. Well, I mean, I say he's a knob. I mean, with someone who I'm believed to have had health problems, so, I mean, some people have said he had mental illnesses, or, you know...
it came out that he believed he was going blind.
Yeah, because he said he'd sought treatment for eye problems, according to the New York Times. It said if he deliberately brought down the plane, it's because he understood that because of the health problems he had, his big dream of a job at Lufthansa, which is a German company which specialises in like long haul pilot flights, so that's like from, let's say, Germany to the ends of the earth, like Australia, Indonesia, and then
America, that's all.
You know, well, further than that on the
like
east side,
like
and west side.
Yeah,
it's a shame. I mean, it's a sad day.
It's a big talking point in work, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, get off my socks.
Sorry.
But it's a.
It was one of them.
He
like,
did, you know. Apparently, he said, "One day I'm going to do something that will change the whole system, and everyone will know my name and remember." We're not going to remember your name. We're not going to remember who you are. We're going to remember the people that were involved. And, well, to be honest with you, we will remember the fact that he will change the whole system, because they're already looking at new ways of pilots being able to access the cabin. I think I'm right saying that's the right word.
Yeah.
Because obviously they got deadlocked doors, and, you know, my dad was speaking to me about this, and he went, "Why didn't you kick the door down?" I went, all of those type of flights have got deadlock seals. You can't kick a deadlock seal down. You can only either input a code, which apparently Lubitz had overwritten, so obviously you couldn't get in, and, well, they're going to try and change it to, let's say, maybe an emergency situation, so from the control towers and stuff like that, maybe they could override it, which is not entirely impossible. It could be easily done,
but at the same time, it's all this.
It's going to take a long time to do it.
Technology, this, then
it's going to take about a year or two, I think, to get this done.
Yeah,
which is not meaning. I mean, it's bizarre, isn't it? There's a lot more plane crashes incidents nowadays than there was, let's say, 10, 20 years ago. But, you know, just starting to happen more and more now. I mean, I know there's more likelihood of killing yourself doing DIY than there is getting on a plane, but, you know.
There actually isn't.
I mean, obviously, since this story's come out, there has been reports of companies wanting to do mechanised planes. So, as you know, people, if you go on a standard plane, you've got two pilots, no captain and co-pilot. Now, it's been scientifically proven that planes can take off without the aid of pilots, fly all the way across the world, and then land without a pilot. The pilot is there for intervention in case the system goes wrong. Now, obviously, since then, get your phone away before I crap all your face. And even, what was I saying? Right, yeah. And that can be done. Now, it can also, you know, it can use radar guided, satellite guided, and people have been suggesting, well, maybe we could do planes commercially now with big commercial flights with 400, 500 passengers on and stuff like that. Now, there's a problem with that. And I'm going to sum it up very simply. Mikey, you like the idea of that technology? You know, plane can fly all by itself. It's a good idea, right? It's a good idea, though.
No.
It is a good idea.
It's a fucking ridiculous idea.
No, I know. I'm just saying it. I was hoping you'd just go along for the purpose and benefits of what I was trying to say, you dick.
Okay. Yeah.
Too late now.
It's a really good idea, yeah.
Well, let me
just that's why I'd rather... No. Oh, sorry. That's like someone saying... Yes, that was my phone.
I know it was.
No, but that's like saying, oh,
it's like
do you want a lift?
It's like with laser guided cars and stuff like that. They're trying to make cars that are driverless.
No.
There's a problem though. Would you get on a plane that didn't have a pilot?
Fucking
no. No.
That's like saying, understandably, that's like saying, oh, you know, would you, like a conveyor belt, would you put your bags on that? You do, don't you? Because it's a general thing.
Yeah.
But if someone said to you, oh, here you go, jump on this, do you want a lift? Yeah, just get in this driver's car. Fuck no, wouldn't you? someone goes, "Oh, do you want a lift? Get in the helicopter."
It's a quite a Top Gear joke from when they were talking about driverless cars a few years ago. Literally, they said, "This car that they've made, it's very good, but one day it's going to be bought by a man called Keith. Now Keith is going to think, I can service my driverless car, and one day you won't be able to relax in your driverless car because you know that coming the other way is a man called Keith who reads the Daily Star and drinks vodka on a Tuesday morning is coming the other way in his driverless car." And that's exactly the point with these planes. It's like, you need pilots. That's a fact. I know people have suggested that, saying, you know, people shouldn't drive, people shouldn't do this, that and t'other. And okay, I can see where they're coming from. They're wrong, but I can see where they're coming from. Because natural evolution of species means that we're supposed to have the easiest glide through life ever. That's never going to happen. But
fuck off. Easiest glide through life.
I know.
Alright.
But that's obviously...
My ass is fucking green, isn't it? Yeah.
You really should let that dump go by now, Mikey. Not in this house, but...
No, but
maybe when you get home. But...
No, if someone said to you, "Oh, do you want a lift?" You think, "Oh, he's going to give me a lift in his car." Yeah, if it's going. You're a helicopter. Yeah, just get in. Who's driving? Oh, it's a self-driverless. It's alright, mate. I'll walk. Don't worry about it.
No, but the thing with cars is that I would give it a go if maximum speeds were capped at 30 miles an hour.
I wouldn't do it.
I would.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but you're a pussy. We know this.
Because no, even if it went 10 mile an hour, I wouldn't do it.
Why?
I just wouldn't do it. Because it's not. I wouldn't feel comfortable. Because as you said, another guy called Keith will be coming the other day, and he'll press a fucking button.
I mean, like, if you introduced driverless cars into society, and let's say you were in the driverless car, and you know someone coming the other way was driving a normal car, I'd feel comfortable then, because at least we know that the driver who's in that car is competent enough not to crash into you, unless they're a 4-year-old that's nicked the car, which we've seen it before. But I'd feel comfortable then. I can understand where you're coming from if it was a world full of driverless cars for the kickoff. I don't think that's the way forward. I think driverless cars are useless. But I would give it a go, just for that sensation, just to feel it, what it would be like.
Yeah, it's one of them. Because
it's one of those things, isn't it? You can't knock it until you've tried it. It is one of them things. I think it is. I think it's come to the point now where in life you can't really judge anything anymore unless you've tried something. And people are slowly but surely. You're still one of those people who goes, "Nah, it's crap, lad," because you're you. But
no,
it's like you don't like Fiats, but you've never driven them before.
I don't fucking like them.
Exactly.
They're shit.
Have you ever driven one? No.
Because I can't drive.
No, exactly.
But I've sat in one.
But what I will say, that's the same thing. Oh crap.
Sat in one.
But I will say this.
No.
Tribute to the family of those that have been lost.
Yeah, on behalf of the SC, for both of us.
Yeah.
Maybe just send our condolences.
Matty's going to be on his way over for you as well to give you help with grieving.
That'll be my job.
I was just like, not to make light of this, although I'd rather make light of this if I can, but Matty genuinely would be the type of person who, to say, grieve them, "Oh, I got you the KFC bucket, just thought you might be able to share it." You can imagine it though, can't you? Everyone's dressed up in the suits and dresses. He comes up in like his...
No, he's got his big Sony headphones on,
and he goes...
his jacket, his jeans, and his fucking white Reeboks, like, yeah.
If he's sitting there, honest, if he's sitting there, he'd be like... if he done like his chicken, he'd go, "Do you want one, mate?" Pass it over. My heart goes out to all the victims and the families, of course, but you know, we have to make light of some things because the world's depressing.
I think what
you know, with all this news, I mean, with politics, I'm not going to talk about it today, but with politics coming up in our country and flipping Meredith Kirch's murder coming back up in the stories again, I'm really avoiding that. So the only thing I could do is talk about someone that I once supported a lot on TV, and what did I say about your phone? Get off that phone before I kill you, child. Because you are addicted to that phone.
I'm not addicted
you
to
are
it. I'm
addicted
just a popular
to that
person.
phone. Yeah. That's what everyone says.
Am I actually?
You might have... You ever heard of a singer? He passed away this week, sadly. Little Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember watching Rock School?
Nope,
I must be. Well,
wait, is that the one with Jack Black?
No. That's the School of Rock. Oh, okay. You got the words right, but that's a film. This was a TV show.
30 Rock?
No.
Oh.
No. Chris, little Chris, who launched a singing career after he found fame on the reality show, which was with Gene Simmons, Rock School, has died. And it's a sad day for me because I watched that show. I watched him grow up, and genuinely, people, he died this week at the age of 24, which is no one's sure yet.
Can I suggest something?
Not yet, because I want to go through this first. But Chris Hardman was his real name. 24. He I'm not being funny. That show with Gene Simmons, he was probably the only person out of the people that was on that show who had anything going for him. He could sing, he could write songs, he could play the guitar, he could do the drums, he could do everything. He was brilliant. Everyone else was about as mopey as pea. But
so it would have made me look quite alright.
No. And to be honest with you, I was looking back at his singles that he'd released. He only ever released 4 that got, charted and everything. His first song, and I remember this, it was called Checking It Out. Came out in 2006, not long after Rock School. Got to number 3 in the charts. He was good. And apparently the police or ambulance services were called to an address at Union Road, Lowestoft, at around 11:45 to report a man had died suddenly.
Drugs. Overdose. I'm saying.
Well, I'd say that myself, but he actually hadn't done music for like 4 or 5 years, and he'd been performing in plays. So
Cardiac arrest.
Could be.
Too much strain, heart attack, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm not calling him
No.
I'm just throwing out these little...
Yeah, but I mean,
Stroke.
Gene Simmons, he tweeted out and said the whole thing. I mean, I remember it when he used to be on TMI on the CBBC. I remember when he used to be on that, and he was a really nice guy. He always came across as a nice kid. And
yeah, but the difference between being on a camp, fuck off. The difference between 2 or 3 things, what you see or what you know, can always be.
Well, everyone who met him and everyone who spoke with him, even behind off the camera, said he was a lovely guy. Even I remember when he was on Rock School and what type of person he was on that. He hadn't changed apparently from what that he'd done back then. But sad day, really. I was a bit gutted when I found that out because I always liked him. I thought he was a good singer.
Yeah.
And
saying that, you seem to find a few decent little singers, don't you?
So we got some more sad news. It's not a death, but it's a passing of a legend.
Hot Rod Hurtley.
No. Why do you keep saying Hot Rod Hurtley?
I don't know.
It's like no one else talks about Hot Rod Hurtley apart from you. Not to say that's a good thing, but another magazine has fallen. Another lads mag has fallen.
You what?
It's not Zoo. Zoo's still going. We've still got Zoo. It's like the last one of the last ones left. Loaded magazine's gone. It's a sad day, friends. It is a sad day. I mean,
heard of it?
Loaded magazine.
Yeah.
If I just show you one picture of Loaded magazine, I'm telling you, you'll know it straight away. Let me just load Loaded magazine. If you don't know, if you seriously say you don't know what Loaded magazine is, this Kindle is going through your forehead, out the back of it, and then I'm going to reincarcerate you as a gypsy.
I've never seen it. Never fucking heard of it.
How can you have never heard of Loaded magazine?
I don't fucking know. You tell me.
No. How can I tell you if you've never heard of it? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard you say. That is well played, Mike. That is well played. He moved his leg and it goes do 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 do. That was Loaded magazine. How can you not remember Loaded? It's like one of the most iconic magazines for lads.
No. Never seen it. No words about I never seen it.
Oh, dead to me. Yeah, the last ever edition, which was published this week, featured musician Noel Gallagher and novelist Irvine Welsh. Jesus. I mean, it was that big, you know. It brought football, women, alcohol, music, and it brought in 6-figure readers. You know, like 800,000 people in the UK would read it, which, to be fair, for a lads mag, was pretty impressive.
But why was it declining?
It went through several ownership changes, I think, and it sort of caused it to fall down. And like eventually, it got relaunched again in July last year, and Loaded said it would be much more discerning and sophisticated when it came to women. And I remember reading Loaded like when it first came back out last year, and it was a lot more. I mean, let's put it this way: the shoots with women were a lot more classy than they were of the 90s and early noughties and stuff.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
you got to remember back then, that was the thing.
Oh well, the Zoo and Nuts still did it. But and you know, one of the initial launch editors, in James Brown, when he found out the news, just mute your phone. Was I loved how he summed it up. He went, "It's a pity." That's how he said. It's a pity how it went, and but he did say though that the last team that had Loaded.
Yeah.
Seemed to make a real good go of it, and it did feel like they were. You know, they brought in Idris Elba and big stars, to come in and do the magazine. But it's a shame.
I apologise about that. That was my good friend Mr. Green.
That's a shame, really.
It's personally, I hate it when you hear these stories when people lose their jobs and lose a way of life. Do you know what I mean? It's to understand to me and you. Oh, it's a magazine, but to some guys that's their life. That's probably much.
Well, it's not some magazine.
Is it a week?
Me.
Was it a weekly one or was it like a monthly one?
Well, Loaders was a monthly one.
So you could have done. There's a month of grafting, of finding the information, of going over it, of getting pictures. And, do you know what I mean? It's to them. That's their life. That bit of fucking cardboard and paper and everything is their life. That's them. That's all those hours they've spent on the computer, like doing searching for information, find who's. Countless days where they've had to go. Sometimes because they're just concentrating so much on that information. Days when they've missed out times with the family because they want to make sure that the reader is just so stuck in with what they're reading. They go, you know what? I'm going to get that again.
Jesus Christ, he could win an Oscar with this speech. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. What? Have you ever auditioned for a role on Pride and Prejudice?
Mr. Darcy.
It says here though.
No, but it's one of them. That's what...
I know where you're coming from, and I know what you mean. These people who are in the magazines, like you said, will get picked up. I mean, it says here, and it's not a case of lad culture that's disappearing. It's the way it's the way it's changing. It's like sales in the last 15 years. It says here from David Silito, who's a media and arts correspondent. He says sales in 15 years from Loaded has gone from 350,000 to around 30,000. Nuts has already gone, as we've already mentioned a couple of months earlier. But it doesn't mean like the market for girls, games, gadgets, and visual mixtures of humiliating pictures is gone. It's just migrated. It's just like Facebook, YouTube and Twitter is all over that, and other websites. But if you want to determine lad culture, what's the one website that everyone goes to for lad culture? Begins with lad. Lad Bible. And Lad Bible is only 3 years old, but is receiving, according to Alexa Web Analytics, more web traffic than the Daily Mail and the Guardian.
Makes you laugh, Don. It really does make you laugh.
Can we just avoid that and just carry on?
Yeah, I'm just taking the case off.
But like,
I'm trying to figure out how to take it off.
It kind of says a lot, really, that the lad culture's still there. It's just in a different form.
But
so
yeah,
It's a shame though to see Loaded go, but I know for a fact that those writers who are at Loaded will go on and do more stuff to do with lad culture. I'm sure some of them will get picked up by the lad.
Well, if you show us a magazine, and I'll have a look through it, and I'll say what I can about it next week. How's that? Because I can't really fucking comment on it due to the fact I've never read it, never heard of it until today, until you've just mentioned that thing.
It was similar in a sense to FHM, except it wasn't as classy as FHM.
FHM's gone on, isn't it?
No, FHM's still there. What are you on about? FHM's still boot. FHM is worldwide. They were one of the few that were classy enough, but had such great humour, they were able to slide it. Some Loaded writers will go to FHM. That's a fact. Just a quick thing about cycling. No, don't worry, it's not Tour de France or anything. Just spectators taking the piss, really. Did you see what happened?
Yeah.
She fell off. Let's see it in slow motion.
What did she do?
Nah, she got pulled down. Got pulled down by a spectator. That spectator has not been found. No one knows who he was. And do you know why he wasn't been found? Because as he was coming into the finish, people, she was coming. Lauren, bugger, forgotten her name.
Lauren, there you go.
As Lauren was coming into the finish, like Australian rider, she, Lauren Rowney. That's the word the last name I was looking for. Did you notice all the people were too busy concentrating on the riders? They wouldn't have seen him pull the handlebar. They all were watching the three that were in front, and she was the fourth one, and all he had to do was, and that's exactly what he did.
Timing, like, I don't know. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. Like,
she's coming in at like 45, 50 mile an hour, and he's gone. Pring.
Just know the way he's like. It's like a mechanical arm.
She was battered and bruised, but she's okay now. Just thought I'd show that because I thought that was a.
It just shows how fucking ridiculous life's getting when people start doing random shit like that.
So if you want to see,
if
you want to see Mikey Keating at the top of Radio City 96.7 doing a jazz dance, then tune in for a review of that next week.
Hey, don't worry, I'll do it as well.
We've got some weird news.
Is this Yankee news or just weird news?
This first one's not American.
Well, tell me when you're the American so I can join it.
Well, it's okay because I'm going to do my two and then you're going to come in for the third one.
So do that then.
Mikey, do you remember the owl that was attacking everyone in Holland?
Oh, fuck off. He hasn't got another brother, has he?
I really hoped he had when I first read this. I was like, he's got another twin! No, he hasn't. Why do websites do puns like this? Authorities, and get this, Mikey, you ready for the pun?
Yeah.
Authorities have swooped in on a giant owl.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That had terrorised the Dutch town for almost a year. He's been caught, the Dutch one. The American one's still going, he's hidden somewhere, but...
Yeah.
I just wanted to... How gutted... I'm gutted that this owl's been caught, but at the same time...
No!
I'm gutted because I was hoping he's going... Do you remember that owl? Yeah, he's back! But we can't do that now. Apparently, has finally been caught. Apparently, it took the whole of Amsterdam to go, do you know what we should just do? Just get an owl expert in to catch him. Because apparently, they've just been sending people out to try and catch this owl. Which means the drugs really do work in Amsterdam, but...
So if you want to go to Amsterdam, yeah, put ST5 as your promotional code and you'll be set up.
A falconer, which is the person who's skilled in the art of humanely trapping large birds of prey. Apparently the owl, it wasn't no one knows why this owl was attacking people. I reckon it had a collection of munchies.
Want someone to give it
I reckon
a hash cake.
Yeah, and it's stayed in its system for about a year and it's been attacking people. It'll fly out, it'll go, man, I was totally far out, man. But
it's like Joe off that what's that surfer movie? He's like the chicken Joe. It's fucking mate.
It's a shame, but that owl's been caught, and the people of Amsterdam can go back to not being ripped apart by claws. Really,
still get high, like. Yeah.
He'll still get high. Like, actually, this is funny. Weird American news is actually being contributed by Mikey this week, not by me. Because this next story is in Sydney, Australia, and I was This is Matty's house. This is so Matty's house. A house is up for sale near Sydney, Australia for around 853,000 Australian dollars. The home is officially named Sherwin House by name, and was, oh god, some of these puns, was built in 1958 by acclaimed Aussie architect Stan Simmons. It's a 4-bedroom property. Would you like to know why this house is being called... This house is bringing up so much attention, and why I've called it Matty's house?
Oh god.
The house is shaped like a cock. Yep.
Right.
It's no word of a lie, people. It's called Sherwin, officially called Sherwin House. It's also been called Penis House, the Buckingham Phallus, which I thought was quite a good play on words. Obviously, with this Huffington Post website, they have to do a flipping joke. It was erected in 1950. Yeah. With it being the Huffington Post, they have to do a joke like that. They also managed to get another one in. Do you want to hear that? A man's home is his palace. Another one. Thanks, Huffington Post, you bellends. No pun intended. Genuinely didn't mean that one. Do you want to see it?
Why not? Go on. I've got.
It genuinely does. I'm not even joking. Look, genuinely looks like a cock.
Go on. I've got.
No, you can look.
No. What the fuck? Sorry.
It was built in 1958, so I can imagine at the time it looked perfectly normal.
No, but if you don't mind me saying, there's both your testicles.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's the big, going inside. There's the bottom of your shaft, and there's the top. Is your belly.
So if you want house analysation, please call us at Mikey Keating at well, that looks like a cock.
No, seriously though, we'll put that picture on there when it gets to this time on the podcast.
I will try, if I can,
put that picture on so everyone understands what we're on about there.
That is incredible picture, that,
it's not fucking incredible, it's weird.
Well, no, it's incredible, Mike. It looks like a cock. So, moving over to another cock. Mike, what story have you got? Come on, you got to give me that. I was on the ball.
Cheeky bastard.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, you fucking man. Give me a minute, I'll find it now.
Da 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 da. That's my attempt at elevator music.
Okay. This one comes from Uni Lad.
I might have heard of this thing because I'm usually on Uni Lad quite a lot.
27th of March, right?
27th of March. That
is a good one
my
for
ex's
your
birthday.
You go into Mackey's, some McDonald's restaurants. Other franchises aren't available. But
it's been a while since we did that.
But the story contains that. You go to you get the wrong. Your order doesn't come with the correct. What you yeah. No, the correct items. What do you do?
You usually go back and say, "Oh, this is wrong. Could you change it back to what it was?"
Yes, and sometimes they will offer your next one free.
Or a refund, yeah.
Yes. So that's what happened in America. A woman by the name of Sharika Torres.
Oh, for God's sake! Of course, it's got to be a name like that.
Sharika Torres.
Sharika.
Right.
I drink tequila.
Right. Was dissatisfied with her burger as it did not have enough bacon on it. Right. So she went home.
I can see what's coming.
Right.
I don't even know this.
Came back later to get her free burger. Yes. Right. And it happened again. So
alright, okay. Alright, once is understandable. Twice would piss me off.
What did you think she did?
I can imagine she swore and got mad.
No.
Is it something to do with bodily organs?
Well, this is what it says as a little, all together. You ready? One woman took things a little bit too far when she got into a dispute with staff at McDonald's store in Michigan after being dissatisfied with her burger. The row was over the amount of bacon in her burger. After firstly being given a bacon cheeseburger without any meat whatsoever, she made her happiness unclear. She told staff that her visit upon her, she would be able to get a free one at the end. Not quite. Miss Torres later returned that day for her free burger and was again unhappy at the amount of bacon in the burger. But this time, instead of arguing, she pulled out a 45.
Oh, she pulled out a weapon?
A gun, to be precise.
Only the Americans.
A gun that she presumably went back home to get in case the second inadequate burger was produced.
Mad, though. Well, that's
and I quote, she shouted at the story, "Bitch, you don't know what you're talking about."
I just... what is it with America and gun control?
She then fired the gun and will now sent to face 7 years in jail after...
She's gonna get 7 years in prison over a burger. That's why. That's why.
Just...
Britons aren't allowed to carry guns, because we'd solve it in a much more... Oh, could you put a bit more bacon on that?
To be honest, the way the whole gun thing and you're not allowed...
I know, I'd rather not go into it, because it's not... It's there for a reason, and that's why we don't have as many problems as America does.
Here you go, here's another one for you.
Another American story.
Yeah.
He's got 2 this week, people. Bloody hell, it's a new record.
Right. How the fuck do I start this? Right. A couple from Colorado, right, lost all the money through gambling, and obviously needed to get rich quick. What do you do?
Sell off a couple of things, although it's America, so thinking like an American, rob something.
Rob a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they decided that robbing a bank would help solve their problems, but clearly they weren't too experienced in the crime, as their search history showed.
Too busy playing GTA.
Right. How people get caught after bank robberies was what they searched on Google. I was still on their computer when the police came to arrest them. Right. They entered the bank and Amanda handed the note to the cashier saying, "Take the money out and put it in the bag." They made off with just $597 before the police were called and gave chase. The pair were caught after driving with a spike strip, and the police later discovered they had been on Google searching how to get away with their crimes. It's... if Google can help you with anything and everything, but you should probably be very careful about it. Stick to cheating in a quiz and not robbery. Yeah,
cheating in a quiz. That's familiar, isn't it, Mike?
No.
Pub night, isn't it?
No.
I really hope someone who works as the bartender or the quiz organiser in that pub of yours listens to this podcast. He's disqualified, mate.
Walk in next week. Can I help you, mate? Yeah, just do a quiz, mate. You're not.
Right, I'm going to slide over now to a review here, people. It's the
Sorry.
Put that phone over there now, before I rip your balls off. Put that phone over there now before I rip your... People, this is going to be a review of Battlefield Hardline, and it's a game that I've had since last Thursday. I decided not to do a review last Sunday because it was too early. Mikey still hasn't got the game yet, but he will do soon, and no doubt Mikey will be going, mate, multiplayer lad, we're doing multiplayer today, we're just doing multiplayer, can we do some more multiplayer Battlefield? I like multiplayer Battlefield, what Battlefield? Because he's battle tested. And just to quote Mikey, actually no, to use Mikey's style of that, Matty's battle tested, Sean's battle tested, Mike's over there at the minute, I'll get back to him. Jack's kind of battle tested, and Mike's sitting in his bar.
You just said Mike twice there!
Yeah, I said, Mike, we'll get back to him in a minute. But yeah, this is my review, people. As someone who's only ever owned Battlefield Bad Company 2, don't expect me to try and draw analysis to Battlefield 4 or 3 or anything like that.
That's what you'll get off me one day.
That's what you'll get off Mikey. Not next week, the week after. But let's be fair, people. The only game that I can really compare this to this time around is Call of Duty Advanced Mike Rage. And Mikey's little smirk there, just like, I can't argue that for once. Now, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to do the only way I could think of analysing this is by doing a side-side comparison, if you get what I mean. So, like, we look at multiplayer from both sides and then story mode from both sides.
And how the characters affected, sort of thing.
Yeah, stuff like that. And I'm going to start with... Let's go through campaign first. You play Nicholas Mendoza, who at the start of the story, and bear in mind, people, this no way affects the plot of it, so don't worry about it. I'm not spoiling it for you. He starts off as a flashback. Well, no, it doesn't start off as a flashback. It starts off with him riding in a police bus as an inmate. He's being transferred, and then the game flashes back to 3 years earlier, and you get a premise and stuff like that. That's no way ruining the plot or anything, because it just doesn't.
That's the case. Oh, I want to do a review on that, actually.
You're not doing a review on a phone. No.
Can I do a review on this?
No.
What about my iPhone?
Because I didn't do one on my phone, so you're not doing one on yours.
Impactology.
So with Battlefield this week,
okay.
I've had about 9 days playing it and getting used to the game, and I'll start with the strong points. I love the characters in it. Got to be honest, characters are really good. There's definitely. I like Nicholas Mendoza, but the one character in particular I like is his partner, which is Kai. And for some reason, what did I say about putting your phone over there? Put your phone over there before I kick your balls.
Okay.
Put your phone over there where your case is, all the way over there. There we go. Right. No, leave it. And I've got to be honest, Kai is one of the people. She's brilliant. I love her in the story. She's one of those characters where you sit there and you go, I really hope she doesn't die, because she's got a sort of
a promise about it.
No, she's got very constrained emotions. No, it's like she's very
close.
I wouldn't say very close, but she is close with Mendoza, not in a relationship type of way.
But like a friend, like a
yeah, and I really like her. And there's a couple of.
That's the same as Thingy, though. To be honest with you, The Order. That's the same.
Well, I'm not trying to compare it to The Order.
No, but like, when you're saying about two characters, it's the same with.
Well, it's kind of like.
And
well, it's like kind of like with Advanced Warfare with the two main protagonists there. I've forgotten their names. I really have forgotten the names. The one who you play main character, and the one who's Gideon.
Gideon and not Will.
I can't remember his name. Who you play in the game. But it's kind of like that, and you
Marshall.
Marshall, that's the one. Marshall and Gideon, and it's kind of like that. Except this seems, because it's male and female, it's a bit more close. In some cases, it does seem like there could be a relationship there, but there isn't. It's not explored in the story. There's a couple of other characters, Boone, who gets introduced later on in the game. I like him a lot. He's funny as hell. He only gets introduced in like the second half of the story, but he's a really cool guy. And there's another guy I've forgotten. But in terms of the campaign itself, it's bizarre because I really enjoyed it, and as I was playing it, I was like, yeah, okay, everything that's happened in the story so far is believable, and there's nothing that's too untoward. That you've got to. There's scenes where you're with your partner and you're talking to the police chief as well, and they're pretty gripping scenes. The scenes with Mendoza and Kai, though, are really the ones that stand out, and there's a real sense of, it does grip you at points. It really does, and you get to spend time doing things. I mean, like, you get to ride along in the swamps of Miami, and you got to experience the storms that they have and all sorts. One problem with the game, I'll be honest with you, and this is a problem. It's got this really cool feature where you can go up to someone and arrest them. Like how you've seen in the gameplay trailers and stuff like that. The only problem is that it kind of takes away the feeling of sneaking around and trying to get through, because that's what you've got to do in this game. You can't jump in.
Is it more of
pew, pew, pew.
like a thief sort of style game? Deadly Shadows.
Do you know how you've got to be careful on Metal Gear Solid?
No, because I've never played
No.
Metal Gear Solid.
And anyone who's played Metal Gear Solid, it's nothing like a Metal Gear.
Like Splinter Cell sort of thing. Like most of the game, it's more of a stealth sort
in
of.
part of it, obviously, you do have those big scenes where you've got to smash your way through things and kill people. But there are missions like that, and it kind of takes away the fact because you could just run up behind someone and go freeze with your badge, and they turn around and they drop the guns automatically, and it kind of takes it away. And I was like, okay, that's a bit disappointing. But you can if you don't like that sort of thing, you can get around it by sneaking up behind them and then using this toggle button, which knocks them out. Which I prefer doing, and which is what I started doing in the end, because using that button just it kind of ruined it.
Does that get the arc?
And it is repetitive as well. I mean, some situations when you need to use it, it gets a bit repetitive after a while. I've got to be honest though, this game does have much more over Call of Duty, over the plot. It has much better dialogue scenes. I mean, one scene towards the end of the game.
Spoiler alert.
It's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler.
No, but spoiler alert for anyone that.
No, it's not a spoiler at all. It's between Mendoza and the police chief. Cracking piece of dialogue entry, and it's over the radio while you're running along. Brilliant piece of dialogue between the two of them. Real sense of tension between the two, to definitely say the least. It was really good scene, and even the ending monologue that happens is a brilliant bit of monologue. This is not ruining the story for people. I'll say that now. Did
you ever play Battlefield 3? Just a little simple.
No. Oh yeah, I did.
Basically,
once, yeah.
Battlefield 3. You at the beginning, it shows you.
Well, you can tell people the plot because it's been out for years now.
Yeah, what's his name? Sergeant. Oh, I can't remember. Main character,
yeah.
Basically, is a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps recon.
Yeah.
And it's in New York City, and he's obviously under arrest.
But get to your point, because I think everyone.
Like you've just explained, your main character's in a prison bus to start, and it goes back 3 years back.
Yeah.
It's like that, but 6 months before, and you understand how everything comes up to what it is.
Yeah. You get that sense.
And throughout the story, it explains why he's there, how he's there, and like that's the thing I like about Battlefield games, like that. Whereas
this is different from Battlefield. This really is different from Battlefield. This is something that I haven't. When I've played Battlefield games before, it's not felt like this, and it's a lot more serious than the only game I can compare it to. Obviously, is Bad Company, but with this game, I've got to be honest with you. On some parts, What are you doing? I'm just being the most awkward bellend.
I'm not bellend. I'm just resourceful.
How? But it outdrags Call of Duty Advanced Warfare in the plot in some areas. Obviously, with CGI, it's behind. I don't need to worry about that. Get off your foot.
Checking time. Just checking time.
I've got the time here.
No. Oh, fuck off.
Right, now he can't touch his bloody phone. Oh. And I've got to be honest. The only problem I had with the storyline was they could have explored a little bit more the ending with some of the characters. Not with Mendoza, the police chief, but with Kai, Boone. There's an ending there which makes you think, how could I put it? I'd like to have seen more from them. I'd like to have, there's a moment where you think, oh, she's going to do this, but she ends up doing something else. I'd like to have seen what would have happened if she'd have done what I was thinking at the time, because that would have been a nice way of, it'd have been a completely awesome way of finishing the story off, but it does something else. Do you know what? It's that close. The plot line between, in terms of campaign gameplay and feelings and stuff like that, between Advanced Warfare and Battlefield. I will be honest. If you take the arresting thing out of it, and you take, no, actually that's it. You take that out, you've got two extremely good. Except the ending on this game is better than the one with Call of Duty. Even though the ending with Call of Duty is good, it's not like.
Problem case.
And it's not like not like the generic ending that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare has, but it is a really good one. And like I said, the monologue makes it all the more better. Sliding over now to multiplayer. Now this is where things get interesting.
I actually enjoyed it.
I know. It is really enjoyable.
I fucking raped as well.
No, you didn't.
No,
you did okay.
Oh my god, Mike! My first game.
Yeah, your first game, everyone does well. I beat Matty on my first game and then proceeded to do poo after that, which is exactly the same pattern you followed. But
I had some cracking shots.
With the multiplayer, it's not like anything I've ever played with a first-person shooter for multiplayer before. You get your standard hacker. You get your standard operator, enforcer, medic, and professional that you get usually
for old Battlefield.
Professionals,
professionals, your recon.
You don't need. Everyone knows. I'm talking to Battlefield players right now. This is who I'm directing this to. Okay. But okay, there's a couple of problems. A lot of good things. They've improved the vehicles from the beta massively. The beta vehicles were poo. These ones are a lot better. The grenade physics have been improved and reworked. And the overall gameplay is actually really fun on multiplayer, I've got to be honest. You know, some of the heist, the heist mode that you can do, I really enjoyed that. Conquest is, pretty decent. Hotwire is another cracking little mode that you can play as well.
Is heist the one when you've got to get the bags off and
Yeah, to the certain points, yeah. I like that sort of thing. Now, there are a couple of problems. The first one being Conquest large. I don't like it, and this is personally preference. I think, with like 38 odd people playing on each side for a multiplayer, I think that's too much.
Why?
I don't.
Because that just means some noob can't just sit in the same room. Obviously, you've got.
I just think
that gives people more of a chance to get killed.
Well, this is, like I said, this is preference.
Okay.
I don't like that because I think I just don't like it. I think Conquest small.
Doesn't tickle your pickles.
With up to Conquest small is about 12 to 16 players on each side. 12 players is perfectly fine. 16 pushing it, but I understand. 16 players. Yeah, I like that sort of thing. That's pretty cool. I mean, racing games obviously you'd have more, and I'd go to 22 maybe before I go that's too much. But I liked it. I like the Conquest. I like some of the things. And one of the cool things I like about it is the hacker thing. I really like that. I like playing it. Sort of you haven't played it yet, so you haven't had a go. But you help out people on your team, and you get to do this, that, and other. And basically, you have the role as a hacker, and I liked it.
Never have guessed it. Sorry, I've got to have a bit of humour.
See those two front teeth? But
which one, mine or yours?
Yours.
I can't see them. No, not really, mate. I need a mirror. Can you pass me one?
There is a big problem with Battlefield Hardline multiplayer though. With Advanced Warfare, I can play it on my own fine. I can play it for a couple of hours on my own fine. I can't play Battlefield Hardline on my own for too long. It's
a more shooting game.
I just can't play it on my own. I've got to play it with people.
I
loved it. When I played it with Matty, I was loving it, and then when I was on my own, I was sort of.
Yeah, like a little babby.
No, it wasn't that. It was sort of like, there's not really enjoying it as much. That communication that you have with your team and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like that, and
but that's
and you don't really have that.
That's the Battlefield experience, mate.
Yeah.
Whereas with COD, you can go like your little lone wolf Rambo
and I like
sort of
that.
style.
Yeah.
Where I'm not big on that. Whereas you say you work as a team, you can be like, hey, you go around the back, I'll go around the side.
No,
I'll send Matty with the big fucking penis truck.
The big problem I have, the big problem I have with this is like, it's more of a preference thing. I like doing stuff on my own because at least if I'm on my own, I can blame myself for what I've done. If it's someone else, you guarantee someone's going to mess up and it's going to ruin the whole afternoon. And it's funny that Mikey looking shifty around at the room, but yeah. Now I'm coming to a score of this, obviously, because that's what we're coming to. What would I rate it?
Alright, are we going for just a general score, or are we going for like... So, basic points, what do you like about it?
Well, I don't need to do an overall summary of this, because I've pretty much explained what I needed to explain. because I like the game.
If the game could be looked at more, could you improve anything? Could the downsize? Could the upsize?
This is just a general thing with all first-person shooters. I wish the campaign was longer. I just wish it was longer. There's no problem with that, people. I mean, it's about 8 hours long, but there's such potential with that story. You could easily extend it to 14. There's another 6 hours worth of content there you could put in. And like I said, I got it on Thursday. I finished it Wednesday. So I mean, if you play it out a couple of days, like rather than rush through it, you're going to enjoy it.
But saying that, me and in that time, I'd been doing, say, what was it? I personally was
hanging out with your new friends.
No, other than hanging out with my friends.
New friends.
New friends.
Yeah, bitch.
Okay. Other than my new mates.
Yeah.
Just because Jack's here. Right. I was on the likes of GTA, FIFA, and to be fair, we were all playing now, weren't we? So.
Yeah, and in the times that I've been able to sneak a couple of games of Battlefield in, and I've got to be honest, I really did enjoy the game.
Do you enjoy it more than COD? As a personal preference.
Ooh.
Have we converted you fully?
Well, no, because if you say to me what's the best first-person shooter of all time, I'll say Medal of Honor Rising Sun. So,
compared in the Battlefield thingy.
Battlefield versus COD.
Battlefield all the way.
COD's got a better multiplayer.
It's one of them. It's like saying
COD's got a better multiplayer.
Yeah.
But Battlefield is a better story.
It's one of them, isn't it?
But
blonde or brunette? No one really knows the true answer to that question, do they?
Redhead.
Exactly my point.
But I'm amazed. To be honest with you, if Call
PlayStation
or
Xbox,
it's obvious that.
Yeah, honestly, it was.
But as I was saying though, the thing that still gets me is that Call of Duty is. I was amazed at how good the plot was. That's what surprised me. That's what makes Call of Duty the better game, is how close the plot, how good the storyline was, and how good the multiplayer is. With Battlefield, I love the gameplay. I fully understand. I understand Battlefield players. I really do. I like the fact that you can't just rush in anymore. You've got to take your time.
Oh, it's making me cry. He's coming out with these amazing little.
I know,
to talk about
and that's the way I played with Medal of Honor. It reminds me of Medal of Honor. I used to have to take my time, and I like that. I like the fact that I've got to learn how to do that again. But as an overall game, I think Advanced Warfare edges it. I really do. I think the CGI puts it in front. I think if you get up and get your phone, I'm going to flipping hurt you. Mike. Do you want me to? Mikey's iPhone's going to be on sale soon. Put your phone down. Come back in the room. No, it's not. It's not like I'm not. I've never been. Oh, Call of Duty kicks Battlefield's arse. I've never been that type of person, because as all the games that have ever come out between Call of Duty and Battlefield, Bad Company's the best one. That's a fact. But in terms of this, well, does it beat World at War and Black Ops?
No, but I'm just thinking as a Battlefield perspective, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think of a little mind map in my head,
Well, I'm going to come to my... Sit down anyway. I'll give it a really strong 8.8. A really good 8.8.
That's good.
I mean, Advanced Warfare, obviously, I think had a 9 or a 9.2, something like that. But and I think the only reason why Advanced Warfare gets that is because I just prefer the multiplayer. There's more stuff to do as well on multiplayer on Advanced Warfare. Obviously, if the DLCs come out, then maybe I'll change that. I mean, there's been a lot of reports saying that don't get flipping premium because it's a waste of time. Because apparently the first content pack, and I'm not joking this, people, the first content pack for a DLC is not coming till August. You've got the basic game for like 4 months. So, I mean,
save your money.
You want to take the chance, then go ahead, but I'd save your money really. And buy individual packs.
No,
also, try one. If you don't like it, then don't bother. That's what I'd say. But it's a good game. It's a really good game. It's got a better storyline than COD. Definitely. Yeah. It really does. We're going to move it to gaming news. We're going to do a quick games coming out in April for PlayStation 4. Axiom Verge, Evolve for Hunters. Anyone who plays Evolve, they've got a DLC coming this week. This week. Evolve, yeah. The game that came out in early March. Sort of like a futuristic style game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have. You just can't remember it. Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. I'm assuming that's a DLC.
See that Bloodborne come out over there, didn't it?
It did, and apparently it's not too bad. Mortal Kombat X 10, obviously, I think is probably the big release this month. That comes out on the 14th of April. Titan Souls, Infinity Runner, Shovel Knight, The Evil Within DLC is coming for anyone. Mikey's favourite game in the world, Tropico 5, comes out on the PS4 on the 24th of April. Tropico 5.
Fuck off.
Yeah, Tropico 5 comes out 2 days before my birthday.
25th?
24th.
Yeah, buddy!
I'm a Tropico 5!
Hey, El Presidente Keating! Come on, it's gonna happen.
I know.
It's gonna, Mike, come on, FIFA. Are you drunk? Are you? I am.
There's a couple of other stuff. The Golf Club Collector's Edition that comes out on the 28th. If anyone still plays The Crew, you've got a raid car pack coming sometime in April.
I might get it.
I'm not.
I know.
There's a game that I can't play anymore because it just doesn't bring me joy.
Get rid of it then.
There's nothing to get. That's the thing. There's nothing to like. There's nothing to take to get rid of it to get.
We'll do it when you get Project Cars.
No. I would never trade in Project. I would never do such a thing to Project Cars. Project Cars is getting bought with cold, hard, crisp £20 notes.
Wouldn't it be warm if it's in your pocket in your hand?
No, because I'm getting the limited edition one, which is £60. And they don't do £60 notes, so it's 50 plus a 10, or 3 20s in my eyes.
Oh,
3 £20. Obviously, though, the big
or
news.
Or 1 £5 and 2 £5, or 6 £10, or 3. Just the look Jack's giving me now. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Obviously, the big announcement this week when it comes to games is Formula 1 2015. Yes.
Oh, for
flipping made up. They finally released the news on the 26th, which was Thursday. F1 2015, for anyone that loves the series, obviously on TV and stuff like that, is coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC in June. Got a brand new version of the Ego engine, which is going to be badass.
Is this
the new model? This is Codemasters. New model delivers enhancements and additions in over 20 areas, including engine, transmission, aerodynamics, fuel tank, force feedback, suspension, and most notably a brand new tyre physics model. All 7 of those things needed to be improved after 2014, which was probably the worst F1 game I've ever played in my life. You're going to get brand new modes such as Championship Season Mode, the brand new and very challenging Pro Season Mode, and of course Quick Racing Multiplayer 2. Hoping there's a career mode there. He kind of shone over that. So, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time an F1 game's come out with no career mode, but it'd be the first time since
so there's no career mode,
F103. It's no one said anything. I reckon there will be. They might still be working on it.
I'll let you buy it first.
No. Using the voice recognition technology available for Xbox One and PS4, you get to interact with your race engineer, so you get to do in-game voice commands saying, I need to pit, or in Mikey's case, I need a new set of tyres!
I need a bigger turbo.
You can also ask for race information, update on the weather, tyre status, request new tyres, and even front wing changes. And that's just a few of the options that are available.
Oh, yeah.
They're also going to be shipping 2014 cars there, so Mikey gets to drive in his Caterham. And they're all built from the ground up with our new updated handling and new game features. I'm really excited. I'm really excited because I've been waiting for the game on PS4 for a year and a half now. And
when you say Mikey gets to drive his Caterham,
I know, Mikey's little face just went. I'm really, really excited. I can't wait. I really can't wait. Some of the screenshots that have been showed look really slick, really clean, and it's going to be great. I'm really hoping it's going to be great anyway, because it's going to be nice to finally have a battle with Matty Morris on the PS4. Oh. Obviously not with you, because you're going to take 4 years getting used to the game. This would be hang on. This would be the first time you've owned an F1 game, wouldn't it? Well, the first time that I know of.
No, it's the first F1.
Yeah, it would be a first one. And as I've seen from you going around Monaco, which you managed to go the wrong way at some point, it's going to take you a while to get used to. No, that was you.
That was Matty.
You spun round and tried to turn around the wrong... Don't try and pawn this on Matty. All our listeners who listen to us, Mikey went the wrong way. I'm not joking, but he's getting there. Eventually, it'll take you about... I reckon it'll take you about...
Let's do a poll. I reckon we should do a poll. Yo, I'm going to set an email address up, right?
Do you know for something, Mike? When it comes to our first race online, the only reason why I see you beating Matty Morris in a race is simply because Matty Morris gets a disqualification for corner cutting. It's the only reason how I can see you beating him.
To be fair though, how much do I corner cut on Australia? And I got away with it.
To be fair,
till the last lap when he did.
To be fair, the corner cutting system on F1 games on the PS3 is poo. It really is, to be honest with you. I corner cutted like an absolute Jehovah the other day in Monza. I went straight across the chicane and I didn't get a penalty for it. To be fair, I did lock up and outbrake myself and nearly crashed into the back of Ricciardo, but...
It's only Danny Ricciardo, don't worry.
I managed to get out of his way and cut the corner, overtook him, and didn't get a penalty.
Oh.
I gave him the place back like 3 corners later and then immediately proceeded to overtake him the next corner after that, but...
Who did you race for?
On F1 2013, I drive for Marussia.
I thought you drove for Williams.
Not anymore. I started a new career mode over again a couple of weeks back. I'm driving the Marussia. And I've scored 7 points! Which is actually quite a lot for a Marussia car. Just a quick little report, just want to say this. Obviously, as we know, Xbox gay people who play that one has made massive console changes to the strategy it's had over the last 2 years since the Xbox One came out. Obviously, the Xbox One is now cheaper, less restrictive, and has more features than it once did. But
it's got 2 extra features.
In spite of these strides, the PS4 is still the dominant console, as we all know. And this is a report, and it's an analysis. That's quite hard to say that. Try saying that when you're drunk.
Analysis.
An analyst.
An analyst.
There you go. Analyst.
Analyst.
Yeah, and I'll say an analyst.
An analyst.
Yeah, exactly. We can't even say it properly.
Analyst.
Can't even say the word properly. But
analyst.
Never mind. Apparently, according to the sales trends of the current console generation, by the end of 2018, the analyst predicts that Sony will have sold 80 million PS4s, which is pretty impressive, and the Xbox One
Microsoft people
will have sold 57.
Or 57
million. Not 57. It'd be great if they did.
Hi guys.
57 million Xbox Ones compared to 80 million. I know that sounds a lot.
No. That's 80 million.
57, 23 million difference. Obviously, people are going to be wondering, what about the Wii U? That's somewhere between 15 and 20 by 2018. So, to be fair, well played to the Wii U. Obviously, people are going, well, Wii U's done crap there, but when you think about how well the Wii sold compared to the PS3 and Xbox 360, it obliterated them. Stop clicking your fingers. That's not going to make me stop until I finish my sentence.
Okay.
Go.
So you're basically, how many was it? They predict
23 million less than the PS4.
Oh, so 80 million.
80 million compared to 57.
So you're telling me, if you gave a PlayStation 4 to everyone, you'd have more than the population of Great Britain.
That's true, yeah, it would be. By 2018. Not at the moment.
Yeah, I know, I'm just telling you.
And I know everyone's been going, oh well, Xbox have properly messed up here, and oh no,
they messed up fucking 7 years ago.
The thing is, people. Little did people remember that PS3 Sony did mess up. They came a year later with their console. The difference with Sony though, and this is why, is because at the end of the life of the console, sales of both consoles were only separated by 106,000. And bear in mind, Xbox had been selling for a year earlier than that, and they'd already got about 5 or 6 million units or 10 million units out by the time the PS3 came out. I genuinely think that PS4 is going to be
Victorious.
Could it hit 100 million? But after 3 years, not after 3 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
I think before the end of its life, it would become third biggest selling console of all time, behind only the PS2, the Wii,
and then
obviously the PS4. So people,
that's why we're gonna make a new console, Mill.
It's gonna be called the Fuck You Xbox.
No.
Actually, to be honest with you,
the S box.
That's it for this week, people.
Is that it?
Yeah, it is actually.
That's shit.
That's not true. You know that.
No.
I'm absolutely starving. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow Mikey Keating at
Mikey Keating next day. If you want to follow Jack on Twitter,
follow us at JackTM53.
If you want to follow Lewis McLachlan, our noble little friend, is Lewis_Moggy.
And if you want to follow Matty Morris, you can follow him in his street in Greasby,
preferably Tesco
in Bidston Moss.
If you also want to follow us on, like us on Facebook.
He's getting there. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Comments. Oh, quick thing,
Snapchat.
People. No, it's not even that. First time ever the S team has made history. I put a tweet. Obviously, every time I upload the YouTube videos for us, it goes out as a tweet.
Does it?
We got one favourite. Someone favourited the tweet, and it's the first time it's ever happened.
You what?
Someone favourited the tweet that we'd posted.
Sure it wasn't you?
No, honest, it wasn't me.
Good, I want to see this.
I will show you later. But,
if you want to follow Jack on Snapchat,
you can follow me. I'm not giving you my Snapchat. You're mad.
I'm the same here.
It's
well, dudes, you got any questions? I'm gonna make an email. Probably put it in the description. Yaddy. Yeah, just get all those if you want to.
Thanks very much for listening, people. It's bye from Mikey.
Toodles.
And bye from me, and we've been the ST.
Ta-da.